Paul, we'll start with an injury update first. Callum Guy, the obvious question first.
Yeah, it wasn't good news for Callum. He's got damage to the medial ligament in his knee, so we think that's his season done. It's a 6 to 8 week injury, so it's really unfortunate. Just a block tackle, one of them innocuous things, but it's a big blow to us because he's a big part of us. Obviously, he's captain. So, like with Jamie Devitt, like with Joel, we've just got to look after them now and get them right and get them ready for pre-season.
You said it before, when these things happen, it's the door open for somebody else.
Yeah, well, it opened up last weekend in the game against Barrow when Corey came on and then Danny came on. So we've got options to play in there. It's really unfortunate for Callum, but as you say, it opens up for somebody else, and it's about going and taking the opportunity. We're all disappointed for Cal, obviously, but we move on, and we've just got to get on with it and pick a team for this next game that we think can get us the 3 points.
He is the club captain. He's a character around the place. What's his role now? Obviously getting fit and getting over it, but what does he do for you now?
Oh well, he's a big part of it off the grass for us now. He can't be involved in training. He can't show his leadership qualities there, but he still had value to the group. Just like Jamie Devitt, he travelled, came for pre-match. He travelled to Barrow with us, and he'll play his part in the changing room. And I hope that Callum will do the same. I've talked about it from the first day I came in and the first day I spoke to you. It isn't about 1 to 11, it's about the whole group, and whether or not they're on crutches, they've got a strapping on the knee, whether they're fit, everybody has a part to play, and I really want everybody to feel that and make sure that they believe it as well.
Kelvin, he was edging ever closer. How far away is he now?
Yeah, I think it's still a bit early this weekend. He's had a really good week of training. He's obviously a fit lad because he's slotted back into training and done really well, and I've been really pleased with him. We just need to monitor him over maybe another week, and let's see how he goes from that. And whether next week's too early, we'll just have to wait and see. But certainly by the Easter weekend, I'd like to think he's going to be back and involved with us then.
And Jimmy, 60 odd minutes or whatever it was on Tuesday night. It's good to see him back out there.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, and he showed some glimpses of what I believe he's capable of. Again, we've just got to monitor that and see whether it's too early to bring him back. He needs to get fitter, it's fairly obvious. And I know Jimmy's not the sort of player who's going to go and run up and down for 90 minutes. He's a player who may be an impact sub for the early part of it, somebody who can do things that not many of the other lads can do. So we've just got a decision to make as to when's the right time to bring him back, but it's nice to have that option.
Rest of the squad, I mean, we're just talking about form. We are a team that's in form at the moment. Training must be quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it's been really good this week, really good. They've shown a real good intensity to it, and a focus as well, because we're coming into a game this weekend that we know is going to be tough. You know, they're in a really strong position in the league. Joey Barton has done a fantastic job. I mean, let's be fair, he had a really, really good career as a player. He seems to have jumped into management and doing really well. He seems to have a good spirit, and we've got to be fully aware of the threat that they can bring to us this weekend, because I know the way that Joey was as a player, and I'm quite sure he is the same as a manager, that he'll get his team ready for this game. They'll be prepared. They've got youthful coaches in Andy Mangan, they've got experience in Kevin Bond, so this will be a tough game for us, probably one of the toughest games we've had against a really, really form side. We're also in form, we're in decent form, and we've got to make sure we touch on the things that we think Bristol Rovers can do, but also it's 90% us again, and we've got to make sure that our form is the team that our form is the group that carries on in a good vein of form.
It is interesting to hear you say that, and you say it every week. It's more about us than it is about the opposition. But do you do it differently when you've got a team like this who've found the consistency that brings confidence?
No. Sometimes it actually makes it a bit easier in a way, because we expect to know what they're going to do because they've done it so well. They tried to play football. They'll try and play from the back, and we've got to be ready for that. They try to play at high tempo. When the ball goes out of play, they try to get it back in. And that's Joey's personality. That's what he's like. He's full of enthusiasm. He's full of, wanting to get the game going. I'm sure he wants to play. And the players are a reflection of that as well, and they've done really, really well. They've got some real talented players there. But again, I will say it, so have we. We are in a good vein of form, and it's a game I'm really looking forward to. I hope the supporters are looking forward to it. I hope they're going to come out in the numbers again, and make it an atmosphere that gives us something to hang on to.
Often a bench, Bristol Rovers, where they'll be talking to the fourth official, they'll be screaming and shouting for everything. Do you get involved in that kind of thing at all, Paul?
I don't think there's any point. The fourth officials have a job to do. It's a really difficult job. I wouldn't want to do that. I sometimes ask the question why my Joe does it, but they love it, and they make what they think are the right decisions. It's not about them, is it? It's not about the bench. It's not about the fourth official. I hope it's not even about the referee. It's about us going and performing on the day. Hopefully, on the day, we can actually outplay, outrun, outfought a really good Bristol Rovers side, and we can forget what the league table says. They have been the better team over the season because the league table says that. But on the day, we've got to make sure that we come out on top.
It is about that, isn't it? It's about having that energy and that determination that's brought us the results we've had so far through your spell here.
Without a doubt, that's all it is. You know, we've tried to keep training lively and fresh today and over the week to make sure that the players are going into the game with energy, because we will need energy. We will need to be outrunning the opposition, outplaying when we can, outfighting when we can, and if we do that, then we can't really ask any more of them.
Do you use Northampton as an example, another team that were up there that we saw off? Is that something that you can feed into?
I think we feed into everything that we've done, to be honest with you. Even the defeat against Newport, we can feed into that and talk about the way that we finished the game. So there's pluses and minuses we take from all of the games. We've got to make sure that there's more pluses come Saturday afternoon, and we're going away happy.
Should we win, that would be 6 wins from 50% of the wins would be under your time here for the season. 6 wins from 12.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Again, it's not. I want to win because it's the next one. I want to win because it's a really good challenge against a really good Bristol Rovers side. That's all I'm bothered about. If we win, brilliant. I don't care about the record. I'm not fussed about that. But it's a really good game to look forward to, isn't it? You know, if you're getting a top team coming to us, and us in form, then it should make for a good Saturday afternoon. And if after the game it's 6, brilliant. Let's take it on.
I think they're bringing about 600 fans, so the support's there because of what they're doing. It'll be another good atmosphere. That's something you've enjoyed.
Oh, really have, yeah. And the players do as well. It's what the players want. The players want an atmosphere. And I think credit to the fans as well. Even in the games when it hasn't quite happened for us in terms of the performance, the fans have stuck with us. The supporters have been magnificent. And we've got to do it again. We have to give them something to cling on to. I hope that they stick with us again if it's not quite happening, because when you come up against a side who are playing well and who are up at the top of the table, the chances are there's going to be periods in the game where they're dominating the ball or dominating the game for whatever reason, and I just hope they stick with us. They see the players are giving everything they've got, and there's the challenge to the players. Give everything you've got and these fans will respond to it.
Have you, particularly after Tuesday night, looked at the table yet? Have you started to think about, okay, how many more do we need? What do we need to do here? And then we can start to look forward.
I haven't looked at the table, no, I'll be honest with you on that one, I haven't. There's people who are very, very willing to tell me what's going on in the table, and obviously I know what the results were as well, so I know for a fact that Oldham have played another game and have not got any points closer to us, and really it's Oldham and Scunthorpe we need to worry about. They're in the bottom 2 places. They have to win enough games to get out of it, so there's a possibility we might not need another win. Who knows? I want to win as many as we can. It's as simple as that. I've challenged the players to finish the season as high up in the table as we can. Now, if the highest we finish is 3rd bottom, then fine. It'll have been a rubbish last 9 games if that's the case. But we have to just do our jobs and make sure we get as many points on the board. Can we go and start threatening the top half of the table? Can we be looking above us rather than behind us? And if we do that, then it'll be a decent nine game period.
I hate asking this one, Paul, because I know it rankles a bit. You were brought in to do the job that you were brought in to do, and you were happy with that. But at what point do you then start to look beyond what we need to do and, okay, we've done that? What happens with the players who are out of contract? What happens with you?
The honest answer is it's never even been talked about. It's not something that's entered my head. I'm aware that there's a lot of players out of contract. I'm aware that we've got loans who will go back. My concern is still at this moment in time getting through to be safe in the season. Now, the club have decisions to make on lots and lots of things, not just on the footballing side, off the footballing side as well. I don't get involved in any of that, and I'll be honest with you, Andy, I'm quite happy to not be involved in it as well. It's sort of a bit of a relief that I don't have to do it. It will also make it a mad, frantic dash in the summer if anything was to happen, whether it's for me or for somebody else, because there's lots of things that need to do in a football club. But I'm happy with the way it's going. The club haven't sat down and had a chat about it either, so it's no big deal to me at the moment. I'm just cracking on and doing what I've been brought in to do.
Got asked about Tuesday night. What was your thoughts on the Cumberland Cup game?
Really disappointed to go out of it. We picked a side. I wouldn't say we picked a side to win the game. We picked a side to get players match minutes. And I'll be really honest, I thought the side we picked would have been enough to win the game, but it wasn't. We certainly didn't approach the second half properly. Unfortunately, I think the overriding thought from Tuesday night is a massive disappointment that 3 young players have had to be disciplined for a little bit of naivety. I won't call it stupidity, but a little bit of naivety, getting involved in something that is part of our life at the moment, but not really a pleasant part of it. And I felt as though as a football club we needed to act, because in my opinion it was a massive mark of disrespect to an opposition, total lack of humility, and that's not the standards I think you should have as a professional footballer, regardless of where you are. I'd have been really disappointed if a Carlisle City player had put that, but we are in a really fortunate position to be professionals at this game, and to have that lack of respect I just didn't think was right. So that's, if I'm going to be honest, not going out of the Cumberland Cup's a disappointment. That's my biggest disappointment from the other night.
Is this an indication of where the bar is in terms of standards that are expected of individuals in and outside the club?
Yeah, I think. It's. Is that? Should that just be in football? I think that's the standards that you should have in life. I don't care whether you're a footballer or whether you work in an office or you have a trade. You have to have standards of respect. I think it's just being a good person. And I've said to the pros today that since I come in, I think they've been a really good bunch of blokes. I think they've gone about the business properly. I know there was some negative stuff the week or the weekend before I came in, but they've been top blokes since I come in. And that's all you can ask. And I think it's a really harsh lesson for 3 young lads to learn, but it's a lesson that they have to take forward, because as a footballer you're put on a pedestal, rightly or wrongly. You know, none of us came into football to be like somebody to look up to. We came in because we love playing football and we love being involved in it, but we are put up on a pedestal, but we're up there to be knocked down, and you have to go about your life to not give anybody an opportunity to knock you down off it. And sadly, on Tuesday night there was things that went on that allowed people to throw mud at us, and I don't like it. Whether I'm here for seven years or 7 weeks, that's not acceptable, and that's the standards that I think as a professional footballer you have to have. And they'll learn from it, and I hope it's a big learning experience for them, and there's no suffering further down the line. But Carlisle United Football Club cannot give ourselves the chance to let people throw mud at us, and hopefully that's the last time it happens.
Paul, thank you.